Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. When I was in 8th grade, I used to be really jealous of people who hit the genetic lottery on two fronts. I used to be really jealous of people who could seem to eat 1,000,000 calories a day without gaining weight. And I was really jealous of people who didn't need to sleep a lot at night. So I thought of a possibility to kind of adjust our bodies to being able to do that. When I was in 8th grade, we used to have Yahoo Games online. I used to really love to play that late into the night. And then I would fall asleep in the classroom. My teachers were really upset about that. And then I would notice other people, maybe a little bit older than me, but they would be on Yahoo Games and they didn't seem to have the problem of needing to sleep so much. So I thought of this plan where I cut back on my sleep bit by bit until I slept less, right? So if I were sleeping 9 hours one day, maybe the next day sleep only 8 hours and 50 minutes. I wanted to implement that plan. Unfortunately, I quickly discovered that it is very hard to be accurate enough to be able to gradually sleep less, right? We all have days where we can't sleep, and then we have other days when we need more sleep. And so the fluctuation really drowned out the gradual reduction that I was trying to do. I thought about doing this with my diet as well. I was thinking that, let's say I could eat 2,000 calories a day without gaining weight. And my body's adjusted to that. Maybe increase it by like 10 calories until my body readjusts to that without gaining weight. And slowly increase it 10 calories at a time until I'm eating 5,000 calories without gaining weight. I remember trying to do that one time. The problem with that is obviously you can't measure it accurately enough. It makes me wonder if it's possible to adjust to other things in life, right? So for example, right now as I speak, I've stopped using caffeine for 2 months now. I was going to go back to caffeine yesterday, but unfortunately, I thought of another art project I wanted to do. And I ordered some tantalum. I do anodizing. I need very steady hands to do it, which is why I stopped using the caffeine. I hope to go back, though, because dark baking chocolate has its benefits. But every time I've tried to go back, I've never quit this long, but in times past when I've gone 3-5 days without caffeine, every time I go back, I go back to my old ways. I wonder if this time it will be different with 2 months under my belt. We'll have to see. I feel comfortable of getting off of caffeine again if it doesn't go that way, so I'm not concerned about that. But it makes me wonder if it's possible to readjust in some way, right? Other things I would like to readjust to. I work with metals, as you guys know. I love casting metals. Now, I want to do some things with a few other exotic metals that are somewhat toxic, and I haven't been able to bring myself to try it yet. Thallium and cadmium especially, even tellurium is kind of tricky. And it makes me wonder if we could adjust our bodies to tolerate small amounts of those metals, right? Imagine you started by consuming a very small amount of thallium, right? So somewhat comparable to the background level that you're getting from your environment anyway. And you consume that much until you adjust to it, and then you gradually up the amount, right? Until you get to a level where now you can safely work with thallium and not get poisoned, right? I wonder if that would work, right? It doesn't even have to be just chemical poison. So 4 years ago, when I first learned that it was safe to be 6 feet away from somebody with COVID-19, and the small amounts of the virus particles that you catch, you could detoxify from if they were small, if they were tiny enough. It made me wonder if you could up your exposure to the amount of COVID-19 virus particles until you adjusted to it, until one day somebody could sneeze on you with COVID-19 and you would be just fine, right? I thought that would be one way to become immune to COVID-19, right? Or imagine you're a Russian spy that everybody hates. Could you adjust to radiation poisoning by consuming tiny amounts of polonium-210, right? Maybe, well, I guess there are people who regularly smoke polonium-210. They don't adjust to it, obviously. The people who smoke cigarettes, that is, right? But you'd have to have a dose even less than that, right? And then you could. But the problem is that I guess with polonium-210 you can actually measure how much you're consuming it. It might take a long time to adjust to it, though, right? Just look at how many people smoke cigarettes and it still kills them, right? That's probably like a millionth of what the Russian spy was exposed to, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.